Hi, hey, welcome to the garden. I'm Mrs. Goyd from ScienceWorks, and we're going to be out in the garden today doing some work on photosynthesis. And today's whole idea is, where did the mass of the plant come from? And we're going to get to know that at each of our stations, our 4 stations. But before we get into the garden, I'd like to talk just a little bit about that important idea of safety and kind of the rules in the garden. You want to think of the garden as a classroom. Anything you wouldn't do in a classroom, you wouldn't do out in the garden. Now, behind me, these are the rules, and I'm just going to read them to you and kind of just talk to you real quick on some basic stuff when you're out in the garden. First of all, you got to walk. You can't run in the garden. I know there's like open space, but you can't run. We're just walking in the garden. You're not standing on any of the benches or the garden beds. Please don't stand on them. They don't know how to take that much messing around on them. So off the benches, they're freshly painted. Good. All right, so respect all the plants in the garden. You're not going to pick anything unless I'm asking you to do so. The other thing is respect and look after all the living things in the garden, including yourself. Whatever tools you have, put them away safely and care for the tools. And please don't litter the garden. Now, the first thing that we got to remember is that today you're using gloves. And if you want to look right over here, there is clean gloves and there are dirty gloves. And when you pick yourself out a glove, even though they're not brand new, they've been cleaned and sanitized. Now, when you leave, this is your exit ticket. You're going to take your gloves and you're going to take care of them, even if you're not putting them on, and you're going to put them in the dirty gloves. That's when you leave the garden. And of course, as you come in and we're moving in, you can see there's a place to wipe your feet. Hey, come on into the Westview Learning Garden now. Hey, here we are out in the garden. I just want to point out to you a couple things. There's a wash station over there, there's soap, and there's also hand sanitizers. So if you feel like you need to wash your hands, you can come over to this washing station. Over on this side, this is the, I will call, rest area. So it's kind of the break room. And so if you're having a really hard time in the garden, this is someplace where you can just go have a rest. So now, if you take a look over onto the whiteboard, let's hang over there and I'll explain to you your day today. Let's go. Okay, so I know that you all have your little booklets, and your booklet is really what you're getting out of the garden, and this is your notebook for the day. You're going to hang on to this because it's going to come into play later on when you transfer it to the computer. Now, if you look up here, you'll see there are garden rotations. There are 4 of them. The first one is leaf rubbing, about 15 to 20 minutes. Seed germination, about 15 to 20 minutes. That's the time you're allowed to hang there. And then plant dissection, that's way in the back of the garden. That's another 20 minutes or so. That's probably going to take you the longest. And then finally, the photosynthesis comic book read. And that's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. So let's get started. And the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go over to the leaf rubbing, and we're going to do the leaf rubbing. That's in your booklet. Remember to carry that with you with your clipboard at all times. Let's go. This is where we're going to do leaf rubbing. And if you've never done leaf rubbing before, it's a great way to accurately model a leaf where all our photosynthesis takes place. Now, the way you do that is you're going to take and pick a leaf. Now, right now, these leaves right here, these are grape leaves. They kind of grow on these really neat vines, but they've got a lot of nice veins on them. And so the first thing you're going to do is position the leaf underneath the paper that you're using on your booklet. And so once you have it where you think you want it, then you lay your paper over where the position of the leaf is. Now right away we're using different color crayons, and you can also use colored pencils to do this. I get good results either way, so you can kind of explore. So what you do is you take this, and now you're going to rub your crayon all along the area where you know your leaf is, kind of particularly going over all of the borders. Now once you get started on doing this, you don't want to move. You want to keep kind of a steady pace because you don't want your leaf to move out of the way. So as you can see, you get a really nice picture of a beautiful leaf. Now I'm only doing one, but I'm going to invite you to do many. And once you've got those all finished, you're going to do what I want, a diagram, a model of how carbon dioxide gets in and how oxygen gets out. And the way we do that is we're going to put some stomatas on here. And there's a picture of the stomata here. You add the stomata to your rubbing, and stomatas look just like that. They're like these little weird kind of cells, and you're going to put at least 3 stomata on your leaf rubbing and add that piece of science to your leaf rubbing picture. You can do a lot of different things with leaf rubbing. Make sure that you do at least 5 different rubbings. Okay, you can pick one out of the garden if you want. You can pick them from what you have available here. So this is our leaf rubbing station. Thank you. Make sure to label your stomatas. So at this station, we've got some special seeds for you today. They come all the way from Missouri. This is the garden seeds that I highly recommend. They give us a donation each year. It's called Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. Now today, you have a choice to plant either a beautiful sunflower. These are dwarf sunflowers. They're going to grow a little bit smaller than your regular ones. They will grow in a pot, and these are particularly good because they have small blossoms. So this would make a really nice plant. Or if you like, you can use a snap pea. This is a sugar pea. Okay? Each of you will select a seed from whichever you selected, either the pea or the sunflower seed, and you'll choose 2 of the same kind of seeds. Now in class, we've already made up our name sticks, and that's going to go in the dirt. So I'm going to take a pot from here, and I'm going to kind of just wipe it a little bit because I want to write my name on the pot. So I'm going to write my name, date, and period number on here. And when you do this, you know that we're going to be watering it, so it's going to get, this is like important because if you put your name, date, and period number, then you'll be able to find your plant and be able to use this as a experiment. So period number, and then the date will be 1/12 on 21. So I've labeled my pot with my Sharpie, and then I'm going to pick out my seeds. So today I'm going to use the sunflower, and you'll see that in each of these there's a little tiny vial, and inside the vial you'll find seeds for a sunflower, and I'm going to take 2. Now they're very small. You have to realize that if you put them too deep, they won't come up. So once you have those, I'm going to put my seeds in the tray, and then I'm going to go fill up my pot with potting soil. So over on this side, I've got a wheelbarrow set up over here, and you're going to be able to get all of your dirt from this. And I'm just going to pour it in, and you'll see that I've got a can here. I'm going to take some dirt, I'm going to put it in here. And you've also got a spade. Here's my spade. Now, once I have my dirt in here in my spade, I want to pack this dirt down so that the roots have something to hang on to. So once I do that, when I start patting it down, you realize, wow, I could fit a lot more dirt in here. So you want to really pack it down because the seed won't be able to grow, the roots won't be able to take hold. So even here, I'm going to put some more dirt in there, and then I'm going to pack it down again. I'm going to pack it so there's roughly an inch where I can get the water to grow. So once I have that, you'll notice that at one point, you're basically got a nice, strong place for your seed to grow. So once my seed's in there, I'm going to take my spoon right here, and then I'm going to dig just a tiny little hole here, and I'm going to put 2, because remember I have 2 seeds, and those 2 seeds are my sunflower. I'm going to put 1 in there, and I don't want to put them too deep. You only have to do them about 3 times the length of the seed. So I put that down there, and I'm just going to press them in, give them some cover, and notice how I have about an inch at the top of the soil. So from here, I know I want to put my name stick in there. Here's my name stick. I'm going to put this in here like that. We're going to add water to this at the water bench behind me, and then you're going to put this with the others of your group inside the greenhouse. So right over here, if you want to follow me, there's our water station here, and the seeds, of course, they're going to need some water. So I'm going to put them right here, and then give them a really nice watering. You want to have enough for them to get started, so right up to the top, not too much, not too little. Now that might drip a little bit. Now it's ready to go back in the greenhouse. You've got your name here and on here, and your seeds are planted. Okay? It's your job to make sure this seed gets out of the soil, because you're going to be doing an experiment on that. Alrighty, let's go to the next station. So we're back at the greenhouse, and in the greenhouse you'll notice that there's some tables in there, and that's where we're going to grow our plant. And it's important that you get it placed nicely so it doesn't tip over. So let's go inside the greenhouse, and you'll notice that there are a nice warm feel in here. It's really kind of nice to be in greenhouses. This is where the plants are protected. You'll notice that there's a tray that looks like this that'll have your class number on it. And what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you have a nice spot right there for your plant to grow and to get watered. And we're going to hope that comes out in a couple weeks. Okay? So this is where you put your plants. Alrighty. Now in this garden part, this is our 6th box, and we're actually clearing the box. So part of this work at this station is you actually clearing and weeding out the plants that grow here. Now we're starting on this side, and you've got a tray, and there are some trowels or spades available. So your job is to take out 5 of the plants that grow here, and your goal is to get the whole plant, including all of the roots. So when I go in there, I'm kind of pulling it, and I'm getting those out, and you'll notice that the roots came out with it. Now once I've done 5 or 6, however many you want to pull, and making sure that you have the roots, I'm going to clean it because this is the plant I'm going to dissect. So I go over to the water and I'm kind of just cleaning off all of the roots. Now you're going to find the one you want, so I'm going to use this one because it has a flower, and then the other ones that I pulled I'm going to throw into the trash. So let's take our specimen, our plant specimen over here, and this is where in your booklet you're going to be drawing a diagram of your plant. Included on the plant are these labels, so your paper will turn into a diagram, a model of plants. So in this one, making sure that you understand that once you've got you're going to take it apart and dissect each of the parts and label it. So there's my leaf, and I can see my bloom, there's my flower, and then this is the roots. So I'm going to take a knife and kind of cut that root off. And there's the root. And then I also have some stems, and that's right here. So I'm going to cut a little stem, and so now I have all the parts: the root, the stem, the flower, and the leaf. And I'm going to draw a picture of these and then make a diagram to go with those on this paper. So I've done my root dissection and out of the soil, and my plant has been dissected. So we're on our fourth station, and in this one, you're actually doing something that you might really enjoy. This is a comic book. It's about photosynthesis. And there are copies that you can take, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit down and read at least 10 to 20 pages, and on each page, you're gonna be writing on your diagram 10 to 20 facts, scientific facts that are true from your comic book station. So this is the comic book station. Some of you will start with this and some of you will end with it. I'm expecting you to get the facts from your readings. All right now, thank you.